So today I am in Denver, Colorado, and Denver is the city I lived in right after college. In fact, kind of got my adult start at life here in Denver. I had just left Lawrence, Kansas, University of Kansas, and really wanted kind of a fresh start on things. And I moved out to Denver with really no job and not knowing many people at all. And I lived in this house right here. Yes, this spaceship of a house right here was my first house in Denver, in honestly a really, really great neighborhood, near a bunch of good coffee shops and good, I don't know, liquor stores and stuff like that. But this was the very first house I lived in post-college as a young adult. And yes, it looks like a spaceship. And I lived in the garden level of this house. So like down, you would enter on this side and then go downstairs, and I lived underground. Somebody else lived on top of us. It was pretty absurd, but I lived in like a 5-foot by 8-foot room, and I could hardly fit my bed in there. And of course, you know, I had just a tiny little garden window in that room. But this is where I got my start, and I learned a lot out here. In fact, some of my fondest memories are from out here in Denver. So outside of my house, I just kind of wanted to show you my old neighborhood and show you all the kind of places that I used to frequent. When I lived here, I was pursuing music. I was trying to be a singer-songwriter. I was trying to write songs with my acoustic guitar and find places to play them, and that didn't really take off, didn't really pan out. I was also selling replacement windows door to door. I'd go knock on your house out in the suburbs and try to sell you windows, and I did not make a lot of money, but I made enough money for me. I was a single guy out here, and that was good enough for me. However, I did spend all my money on coffee and beer when I was out here. And there was a liquor store right down the street from my house that, if you ever remember Foursquare, the social app where you could check into places, I was the mayor of all these shops when I lived here in Denver. I had too much free time. This is Little's Wine and Spirits. I would walk down to Little's after work, grab one beer at a time, drink it back in my house, and then walk back when I needed more. They would just sell individual beers and let you buy them. And this is how I really started to learn about craft beer. Was out here in Denver just buying singles from Little's. And yes, I was the mayor of Little's Liquor. So that's one of my proudest accomplishments. Since I left Denver, it has become America's fastest growing city in the last 5 or 6 years. I lived here in 2011 and then moved away in 2012. But in that short 12-month period, I got to know more people and more places than any other city I'd lived in before. And so when I come back and visit here, it's as if I grew up here, because I spent so much quality time here, learning about the city, living by the mountains, drinking beer, riding my bike, and eating hamburgers and stuff like that. This coffee shop was called Dasbog Coffee, which is a big chain in Denver and other towns in Colorado. I'm not sure how big it is. But I came here almost daily, ordered a drink called a crack in a cup, which was like 4 espresso shots, some coffee, some vanilla, some chocolate. It was absolutely absurd, but again, I was like 22 years old when I lived here, and I was living it up. So I would come here daily and drink Dasbog coffee. I could walk here from that spaceship house, could walk here from Little's Liquor. It was another part of my community when I lived here. They added to the richness of my experience. Obviously, it's called Keith's Coffee now. I don't know when that switch happened. It's no longer Dasbog. But I'm gonna step in here and work for a little bit, as my wife is getting her nails done for the big wedding tomorrow with all the other bridesmaids. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm here because my little sister's getting married. Yeah, she's getting married on Saturday in Monument. So.